What is up, Revivalists? How's it going? Simon here from CD Revival, and I'm going to do the next part of my CD collection video today. I'm going to do the bands that begin with E, artists beginning with E. Randomly, not got too many in E, so it won't take too long. Certainly the least popular letter so far that I've come across in my collection. So I'll go through what I've got fairly quickly. No discographies or rankings for any E bands, because I haven't got enough of their stuff, or I don't know them well enough, and what have you. But we'll go through what we have got today. Some interesting stuff for sure. So start off with the band Extreme. I've got a few from them. I've got their first album, just simply titled Extreme. A decent band, I think. A little bit underrated. I think they lost a little bit of their credibility maybe when Gary Cherone went to join Van Halen, and they obviously did a poor album with them. But yeah, first album's not too bad. It's got a few decent tracks on it. Wind Me Up, Kid Ego is pretty good. The last track, Play With Me, is probably the most favourite on here. Most famous rather. And you find that on the original Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure soundtrack, when they were yeah, Beethoven was playing it basically on the keyboard and etc. And you know, they have that whole scene. If you're familiar with that movie, so a really good song. I think it was on one of the Guitar Heroes as well, so it's quite good fun to play on there. Obviously, Noonan Betancourt's a guitar machine, completely shreds, and especially on that track, it's amazing sort of solo and guitar work. So yeah, underrated, maybe underrated guitarist. I think he's done stuff with Rihanna recently, but well, not even recently, but he has done stuff with Rihanna. But yeah, first album, worth a listen. It's not their best, but fairly decent. Their second album, Pornography, that's a really good one. That's when they kind of hit the big time originally with tracks like Decadence Dance and Get the Funk Out, which are both really cool, funky tracks. It's got a lot of good stuff on it. More Than Words, obviously, super famous sort of ballad, which is, you know, overplayed, but it's still pretty cool. Wholehearted as well, I think there's another single on there. But a lot of pretty good stuff on here. It's a Monster is a really cool up-tempo track. When I'm President, Little Jack Horny. It is actually a really good album. I remember when it came out, Kerrang were like all over it, saying how great it was. And that was in 1990 by the looks of it. But yeah, really good track. Yeah, good band, to be honest with you. Good musicians, good funky, yeah, quite varied as well in musical styles on this one. So Extreme 2, Pornography from 1990, really good CD, really good album. And I've also got their third one, Three Sides to Every Story, split up into three sort of themes: yours, mine, and the truth. Not exactly sure what that's all about, if I'm being honest, but it's a decent album once again. Quite a lot of different stuff on it. Not heard this as much as the other two. But it is it's pretty cool, man, to be honest with you. It's got a lot of good tracks on it, a lot of variation. This one came out in 1992. They have done a couple since then, I think, at least. But yeah, that's the only other one I've got of theirs. Then we go into Exodus. I haven't got their first album, Bonded by Blood, but I have got Pleasures of the Flesh, which is their second one. Never overly keen on this one. This was the first one with Steve Zetro Souza on vocals, and it is, you know, it's decent. It's a decent thrash album, but there's nothing, I don't think, that, you know, makes it like super amazing. Chemical's quite a decent track, probably the best one on here. Faster Than You'll Ever Live to Be. It's it's all right. I've listened to this like far less than any other Exodus album probably. Because it didn't really grab me too much, but still okay, pretty good. Fabulous Disaster, which is their third album. This one's probably my favourite of theirs, to be honest. This has got a lot of good stuff on it. It's got Toxic Waltz, obviously. It's got a couple of covers. It's got Low Rider, and it's got Overdose, the AC/DC song as well, which are, yeah, fairly good. Last Act of Defiance is a good opener. Fabulous Disaster, the track is pretty cool. And my favourite probably Exodus track is Corruption, which is on here as well. This is like the remastered version, so this has got live versions of some of the tracks: Fabulous Disaster, Toxic Walk, Cajun Hell, and also Corruption. So worth getting that for the live bits. But yeah, great album, good guitar work, and yeah, really cool. I don't have Impact is Imminent, which was their next album, but I do have Force of Habit, which I can't believe the amount of hate this album honestly gets. If you look on it, it's like, you know, slated pretty much unanimously. I really like it. Thorn in My Side is a great opener. Force of Habit, the title track, is good. Fuel for the Fire is good. One Foot in the Grave's just a great track as well. Architect of Pain is a really like 10-minute track, and that's awesome as well. Good Day to Die, I think, was the first single. That's honestly a quality track. They have changed their style a little bit on this, but I think it's, yeah, Feeling Time at the Zoo's like standard old school Exodus. A couple of covers, Pump It Up, which is the Elvis Costello song, and Bitch, which is Rolling Stones, obviously classic. But yeah, I don't understand the hate for this album, because I really enjoy this, and I'd put this like near the top of the Exodus. If I was going to do a ranking, it would be up there, because I do really like it. So it's a bit more varied than their standard. I mean, they are cool, don't get me wrong, but they have their sound, and they, you know, they thrash and it's good, and they're good at what they do. But they did change it up a bit on this one, and I think it's, you know, there's still the traditional tracks on there, but a few more different bits as well. I think it's well worth checking out, and if you've only listened to it once and you thought, then, you know, give it a few more listens, man. It'll grow on you. It's a really cool album. Tempo of the Damned I've got. That was Zetro's return. He left the band for a little while. He's got a bit more of a screechy voice in places on this. Screams a bit more. Still a good album. Scar Spangled Banner, War Is My Shepherd. Shroud of Urine's a really good one as well. This comes with a bonus track, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, the AC/DC song. Culling the Herd is also good. Tempo of the Damned. Yeah, really good thrashing album, old school. Impaler is like a really old school sounding track. Sounds like it could have come out in like 1984 or something. Yeah, it's a good album, man. Old school, Exodus style, really good. The only other one I've got by them is this one here. That's the Atrocity Exhibition. Exhibit A. Different vocalist on this one, Rob Dukes, I think his name is. Andy Sneap produced as well. Yeah, Rob Dukes on vocals. Gary Holt still on guitars. No Huno on here, but still, you know, a decent thrashing album. I think, honestly, Rob Dukes. I mean, Zetro is, you know, the Exodus sound I sort of associate with his vocals, but Rob Duke is probably the slightly better vocalist, and he does do a good job on this one. I've not really heard many of his other ones, to be honest with you. I've heard the odd track here and there, but yeah, this one's really cool, man. Like Riot Act, Funeral Hymn, some good stuff on there. It's a really worthwhile thrashing album to check out. So yeah, good stuff. Now I've got a few from Enuff Z'nuff, a band that's not really talked about enough at Enough. In my opinion. This is their first album, which I did get back in the day. I used to have this on cassette, played this to death. If you checked out my like Glam Sleaze top 10, this is in there as well. And yeah, it's a banging album, man. New Thing, She Wants More. It's got a real funky groove to it. It's sleazy, it's melodic, it's got some really good tracks, this one. Finger on the Trigger, the end track's got a really good, it's a really good finisher. In the Grooves, another really cool funky track. Superb album, first album by Enuff Z'nuff. Their second album is Strength, and also this is excellent. Probably equally as good as the first album, to be honest with you. It is really cool. It's got some Mother's Eyes was, I think, the single off of this one. It is pretty cool. Yeah, definitely worth a listen if you like them. So that's a good one. Enuff Z'nuff Live, which is that one there. Picked this up in like the Air Ambulance charity shop or something for like literally, I think they were like 5 CDs for £1, and this was in there. So I grabbed that. It's got some really good stuff on it, mainly from their first couple of albums, to be honest. Yeah, really cool. Well worth it. I've got a promo version of Welcome to Blue Island. This one came out in 2002. Not really much to show on this one, just a CD and a slipcase. So this is just the promo version of it. Yeah, really good. Another like cool album by them. Not quite as good as the first two, but still well worth a listen. And the other album I've got from them is Animals with Human Intelligence. This one came out in I can't even see, man. Honestly, my eyesight's terrible, even with glasses on. I'm going to say 92 or 93. Anyway, that's that one there. Still another really cool album, 1993. See a bit better on the actual disc. So yeah, another good one. So not as good as the first two, but still well worth checking out. All of their albums are good. A couple from Eagles of Death Metal, Death by Sexy, really cool album. Want You So Bad, Boys Bad News was the single, which is really cool. Got a Feeling, Cherry Cola is a really good one. Just sort of groovy, like deserty, you know, Josh Homme was involved in this. Yeah, really enjoy their stuff, to be honest with you. The Dream Boys were here, it says. But yeah, really cool album. And the other one of them is Peace, Love, Death Metal. They're not obviously death metal. They're you know, desert-y style groove band. If you're not familiar with them, so if you like Queens of the Stone Age, you'll pretty much like these. And yeah, it's another good one from them. No really famous tracks on this one though. But yeah, good album, that one. And then a few sort of classic-y, you know, ones that I've only got like one album by each. Best of ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, obviously classic band from the UK, 70s. Things like, it's got all their greatest hits on here. Telephone Line, Mr. Blue Sky, Evil Woman, etc. Once again, charity shop special, like probably paid 50p for it. Thought that was worthwhile. It's got the slipcase, and so it's all got all their greatest hits on it. It's in good condition, so picked that one up. So I do enjoy a bit of that. Same with this one, which is the Eurythmics Ultimate Collection. Once again, it's all their greatest hits. So picked that up cheaply. It's got everything on there. Love is a Stranger, Sweet Dreams, Who's That Girl, etc, etc. Really cool 80s band. EMF, their first album, which contains the track Unbelievable, amongst other things. Children, Lies as well was the other single, I think. I Believe as well. Kind of rocky, techno-y, yeah, a good album, man, honestly. Their second album was a bit heavier than this one, but Schubert Dip, their first one, I used to love it back in the day, and it still sounds pretty cool to this day. It's not bad at all. Best of Earth, Wind and Fire. Once again, all the greatest hits. September, etc. So yeah, volume 1. Don't know if there is a volume 2, to be honest. Electric Six, their first album, I think. I've heard a few of their first one of those for a while. Yeah, this is their first album. This has got like Danger High Voltage on it, I'm pretty sure, which was the famous song at the time. Yeah, Danger High Voltage. And Gay Bar, which was another funny video on that one. But yeah, it kind of gets on your tits a little bit after a while, but it's not a bad album. Hotel California, the classic album by the Eagles. It's pretty much the law to own this, I think. But yeah, really cool album. Obviously, you know, everyone knows the Eagles. Everyone likes the Eagles. Hotel California, Life in the Fast Lane, Wasted Time, etc, etc. But yeah, really cool album. And lastly, the Best of Elton John. Zach Wilde's favourite. and if it's good enough for Zach Wild, it's good enough for me. But yeah, obviously 2 CDs of pretty much all his best stuff, so well worth having. If you don't like Elton John, then that's unlucky, because he's done a lot of great music. He's a bit of an odd guy, but you know, who isn't? But yeah, good album. Best of Elton John's probably all you need, to be honest with you. His other stuff can get a little bit tedious. You know, his full albums and stuff, he's done a lot of stuff, but you know, give the guy respect, he's done a lot of great tunes. So that's it for E, pretty much. So yeah, not too many. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what, you know, if there's any favourites that you've got out of that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, it does help massively. And you'll be obviously notified if you click the bell for my next video, which I'm going to do one of my favourite bands and probably my all-time favourite singer, Mike Patton. So the ranking of the Faith No More albums. So look forward to that. I will look forward to doing it, and I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching. Take it steady. Cheers.